Welcome to your source for research, innovation, news, insights, and commentary. This is Research Business Daily Report, and we're sponsored today and all this week by Socratic Technologies, whose proprietary tools and methodologies tackle marketing complexities so that you can make more confident business decisions. We want to share with you important research insights into one of the hot but newer and therefore less understood modes of social media. Sam Osborne on Business to Community explained why tracking keywords on Pinterest is a veritable waste of time. He acknowledged the strong temptation to track keywords for performance reasons based solely on other social media platforms. And Osborne does not deny that keywords on Pinterest play a role in search, as opposed to Twitter and Instagram conversations that are built largely around hashtags. But he says that focusing too much on keywords risks ignoring other more important elements that have a far larger impact on the success of a brand. Quoting Osborne, "If your pin comes from a website, and more than 90% of pins do, Pinterest keywords will automatically populate from the existing product description. This makes keyword optimization largely redundant. The product description will remain exactly the same, no matter how many times that image is pinned." Osborne had an additional reason to give keywords short shrift. He says less than 1% of all pins ever receive even one comment. Next, CRM for 15 years has always stood for all of us for customer relationship management. But can CRM and will it assume something else as well? Maximizer Software claims CRM can be a valuable anti-recession tool. Therefore, it suggests allowing CRM to also stand for Company Recession Management. Maximizer says small and medium-sized market intelligence specialist AMI partners proved through research CRM's anti-recession prowess. That research supposedly demonstrated that businesses using customer relation management systems outperformed in revenue terms those without it by 140% per employee. And in closing today, media research guru Bill Harvey is back with us after some time away. He's been busy promoting the launch of his great new book, You Are the Universe. Imagine that. And he's here to speak with us today about 3 evolving media research objectives that are described in detail in this and one of other Bill's books. Fully resolving these trio of issues in the near term will be a slow go. Everybody admits to that. But their importance is such that an earnest, long-term effort is underway on many fronts. Bill, the points that you make in your new book, and there are 3 major ones, I believe, are highly relevant to the media research field. But I also think that I would best describe them as very much in an evolutionary stage, and we could be really early on. What's the first point?
Given the amount of change that has occurred in the media, we need to re-optimize media mixes. We have social media, we have custom content, we have mobile, we have digital, we have TV, we have print, outdoor. We've got all these media. We need to know how to maximize the effect on our ROI. And to do that, we can't simply depend on soft research. We have to do sales effects testing, A/B testing, act like direct marketers.
Mm-hmm. Second point?
Second point is data integration. And data integration driven by an ROI and brand equity perspective. ROI and brand equity, the only 2 things that matter. Therefore, look at all the data you've got and all the data that you rent and all the data that you're considering buying and decide if you connected this to that, what would it give you in terms of an ability to increase ROI based on the relationships among these variables that you see in this field of data that you might command.
Is there a particular reason why you don't fall back on the term big data in what you just described? Everybody else does.
Well, I sometimes I'm guilty of using the buzzwords and big data. Big data. I originally used the term naturally occurring data, and big was implied and census-like was implied. But to me, the main thing was that it was data that research wasn't deciding to collect. It was data that was created in the world for other reasons, business reasons, and now let's look at it as researchers. That was what anyway, but yeah, it is big data. We've got all this big data driving change. Let's get on the proactive side of big data.
Okay. And what's the third point made in the book?
The third point, and then let me correct about the book, because there's two new books, and this is in one of them, but it's not the one that you and I were talking about right before. The third point is emotion. You know, if brand equity and ROI are the only things that count, and ROI is really driven by the underlying emotional connection between the brand and the person, then the key question is, what is emotion, and how is it changing? What are the values, and how does values and emotion and moods all connect, and so on and so forth, and then connecting all of that to content and to big data and to sales testing. So this all comes out of the new book I'm still writing called What Every CEO Must Know.
Which one of the three are we farthest along?
Well, we're farthest along in the sales effects testing because digital is pretty much doing it. They've redefined conversion to mean not necessarily a sale that they can see online, but just going like to drive a financial prospect to a financial advertiser's website. That's being called a conversion, because they can at least say, well, we know how many of those turn into how much money, so we can say that conversion is worth more than a typical media cost to get it would be. So I'm looking at it that way. So it's being done. Sales effects testing is being done widely in digital. Now it's got to be done in all media.
The whole situation reminds me a great deal of the space race in the 60s. And it strikes me that we are kind of in the early or middle stages of getting to the moon.
Yeah. Yeah, we know it's going to take multi-stage rockets. We've learned a little bit about the ballistics involved. We're not quite sure that we want to use liquid oxygen. We're still debating stuff like that. We have to work out the computer systems to be able to self-adjust for astronomical last-minute inabilities to take readings, and we have to have predictive stuff we haven't created yet. So a lot of the software is, but we can see where we have to go.
Our thanks to Bill, who can be contacted at bill@billharveyconsulting.com. And I'm sure he'd like to point you where you can buy a copy of his books as well. Add them to your research library. That's your Research Business Daily Report, sponsored by Socratic Technologies, whose proprietary tools and methodologies tackle marketing complexities so that you can make more confident business decisions. As I always remind you, you should check out Sotech.com. Socratic Technologies has been ingenious in coming up with new ways of doing research and understanding people who undertake and also who respond to research. Again, Sotech.com is where you should go. Have a great research day, and we'll look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow.